I'm standing in the Sunday night supper room in the Bellingrath home. This little room has had different names over the years. The early inventories call it the large breakfast room, though breakfast room is an odd name for it since it faces due west. We're here in the morning, you can see there's no sunshine coming into this room. It later gets the nickname of the Sunday night supper room because Mr. and Mrs. Bellingrath often used it for Sunday night supper, especially in the wintertime when they could use a porch dining room before it was glassed in. An interesting aside to this room is that the china in this room, by and large, is by Haviland of Limoges, France. But at one point, somebody got the idea that this was Tucker china, which is the oldest known American-made china in the United States. Now, Tucker didn't last very long. The company couldn't compete with the European rivals. And then the rumor came about that Jackie Kennedy, in her administration of the White House, had actually called Bellingrath Gardens and Home trying to buy our Tucker china for the White House, since she thought this would be appropriate to have this American-made china in the U.S. White House. Well, of course, I think that's a complete fictitious story that was told over the years, and the original inventory showed that this is Haviland china, and where we ever got the idea that this room had valuable Tucker china is beyond me. One of the interesting things in this room is this Russian samovar. Just where Mrs. Bellingrath bought it, we don't know, but early photos show it in the butler's pantry, so we know it's part of the original collection, as is the tray under it. It has a series of medals on it from the 1890s, so it gives us an idea of when it was made, but whether Mrs. Bellingrath ever actually used it or not, it's probably more for decoration. These units were done for Russian households, and this is a chimney at the top with a well in the middle, and they would have dropped hot charcoals into here to keep the water in the kettle below in the samovar hot, and you could put a teapot on the top to keep it warm. Now, that was a great idea, except in this day and age you would not be burning charcoal inside a house because it could cause some serious problems with your breathing. So it must have been a very drafty Russian household that would have had these things.